This is Walk Talk Football, the show where we talk about everything that's on your mind. Today we're talking Premier League, we're talking the rumors surrounding Harry Kane, we're talking La Liga, and guess what? You guys even asked me some personal questions instead of just hating on me, so let's get to them. Let's walk. All right, first question. Is Man U the best choice for Alexis Sanchez? Where will he fit in their side? Well, that depends. I mean, this is all on Alexis Sanchez, and it's all about priorities, you know? Do I think Man City would have been the best opportunity for him? Absolutely, but Man City clearly weren't willing to put in the money that was needed to get him right now, and he probably felt like, okay, they clearly don't want me as much as I want to go there. So you have a Man United that are going to probably raise his wages quite a bit. They are probably the second best team in the Premier League. They are going to have a strong future because you know that with the Mourinho in charge, he's going to have the ability to spend the money he wants to spend. But it's all about priorities. Obviously, he's won trophies in his career, and if that's the priority, then maybe he should hold out and go somewhere else. The only other place that he could go is maybe a PSG where he'd be respected, which won't be as competitive. Or you have like a Real Madrid, which I don't know if he would go there after playing at Barcelona. So I think it's a good fit for him. And where he fits in the lineup, it's tough to say. I mean, he could play underneath where Mkhitaryan played. He can move out wide where Mata plays. Either way, they could move to a two-striker system. He could play underneath the striker. He's pretty free roaming no matter where you put him. He's going to kind of just float and roam. And at the highest level, those guys are all capable of playing multiple positions and just moving freely and making sure they cover for each other off of a turnover. So, yeah. What else do we have here? Will adding Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang convince Özil to re-up at Arsenal? Look, that's another good question. I don't know if it will. I think that on one hand it's yeah. I'm sorry. I'm trying to avoid getting hit by a car here, guys. So kind of got stuck in my own thoughts. Do I think it'll be enough for him to re-up? I don't think so. I think Ozil's been at Arsenal enough to know that Arsenal's ambition is always going to be limited by the amount of money they're willing to spend and the team they're willing to build. I think Arsenal needs to add a lot more players than just Aubameyang, who I think could score a lot of goals, and Mkhitaryan. So I don't know if that'll get him to re-up. I think there'll be a number of clubs that he could go to where he would have a chance of winning more trophies and earn the wages that I think he wants to earn. Selfishly, though, I hope that he does stay, because I think he is a quality player. Even though he gets a lot of slack, I think people don't respect the quality that he has for what it is, and they always expect him to be this hard, like eventually change the way he's going to play, which he's never going to do. But he still puts up plenty of assists, and he creates so many opportunities on the field. And for a player playing against him, his ability to move just forces teams to kind of lose balance and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see. What else do we have here? Real Madrid have been dropping games. What do you think is wrong? I don't know. I can't specify what's wrong with the team, but I do know that a team like that is so good, but it relies so heavily on your best players being in form, i.e. Ronaldo, Bale, Benzema, and that strike force scoring goals regularly. But it also is just such a small margin of error at the highest level that if the ball doesn't bounce your way when you have that much world-class talent, if you don't get things to go your way, things can go really wrong. And eventually for these teams, they've won just about everything. It's so hard to say, okay, we've won it all, and you wake up one day, you get a very short off season, your body's not feeling 100%, you're not feeling fresh in your mind or your body, and you've got to turn it on again for another 365 days. It's a lot to ask for, and I think that's part of what it is, and then a little bit of unluckiness has caused, is unluckiness a word? Yeah. Unluckiness, yeah. You know, it's caused them to hit a little bit of a wall, but they came out of this weekend with Bale having a brace, Ronaldo has a brace, so hopefully this, again, we say this every time they win a good game, but hopefully this turns into something where they could get a little bit of a rally going. What should Real do with Ronaldo? Nothing. The answer to that is nothing. Real doesn't get to do anything with Ronaldo. Ronaldo gets to do what he wants with Real when he's ready. He is one of the best players to ever play the game, and even if he's having a little bit of a quieter season or a lot of a quieter season, he's still very capable of being the best player in the world. He is currently has the title for the best player in the world, so I don't think Real get a choice on what they want to do with him. If he wants to leave, if he wants to go to back to Man United, or if he wants to go somewhere else, that's going to be on him. But I don't think Real Madrid will have any say in that, other than how much he's going to cost to get sold. All right, how much is Harry Kane worth on the market right now? Would he be a good fit for Real Madrid? Just so you guys, if you do or don't know, the Mail reported that Real Madrid are preparing a £200 million record-breaking deal for Harry Kane in the summer to become the most expensive player ever and join Real Madrid. How much is he worth? Look, he is the top scorer in Europe. he is been the golden boot the last few seasons in the Premier League, and that costs money. I mean, the reality is if he's scoring that many goals, he's going to score a lot more in other leagues. I'm not saying, no disrespect to the defenses in La Liga or the defenses in France or whatever. I just think that the scoring in the Premier League is the hardest league in Europe to score in regularly, and he does it with ease. I think he's got almost 50% of his team's goals, and every year we would say, let's see him do it 2 years in a row. Now we're saying, let's see him do it 3 years in a row, 4 years in a row. Because he doesn't have that flash and that superstar kind of charisma that we're used to with guys, we kind of hold that against him, but I think he's definitely worth $200 million, and I think somebody will eventually spend the money to get it. So, how do you think Landon Donovan will do in Liga MX? I have no idea how he's going to do. We always talk about it at COPA90. What if we made a film where I myself would go to Liga MX or somewhere around the world and try out for a team and see if I can make a comeback, and how hard that would be after being out of the game for a certain period, and do you still have what it takes? Do you lose those natural talents? Do you play more with your eyes and things like that? And it's really hard to answer until we actually go and do it. Do you guys think we should go out and do it? Let me know. But for Landon Donovan, I'm not really sure. I think he'll do well because he's a smart player. Even if you saw towards the end of his career, he didn't have the legs that he once had, but he has the eyes and he has the brain. And I think you never lose that when you're a player of his caliber. With Jonathan Gonzalez going to Mexico, what can the U.S. do to include the Latino community, a community that has been neglected by the Federation? I don't know if the community has been neglected by the Federation. Okay, I can't say that. I think the community has been neglected by the Federation, but I don't think that's contingent on the U.S. getting players to play for the U.S. instead of Mexico. We've had a number of dual nationals. We've had Gringo Torres, Herculez Gomez. We've had Edgar Castillo, Paul Arriola has a Hispanic background, Johnny Bornstein. All these guys, dual nationals, could have played for Mexico, played for the U.S. But in terms of, it's a whole other conversation about how we can appeal to the Latino community in the United States with the U.S. Soccer Federation. But I don't think it has anything to do with losing Jonathan Gonzalez. I think that was an issue that I think we failed as a federation with that one, but I think those are two different conversations. Why is Chelsea looking at every big target man in the Prem? I know, even Andy Carroll, right? Andy Carroll, who I think just got injured and is out for a couple months, but apparently the deal is almost done for Edin Dzeko to join the club. They're clearly not happy with Morata, and I kind of liked Morata when he first came. He's just raw still, He hasn't had even a good string or run of games to be a consistent starter, but I don't know why they're looking at them. Chelsea can look at anybody they want because they have the money to spend. They're going to keep on adding players till they get the player that they want, and they play a lot of games, so you got to have that depth. But big men, I don't know why the big men, you need some hold-up play, I guess. Should Chicharito be sold? If so, where would he make an immediate impact? Look, West Ham is stacked up. They've got a lot of players. Well, now with Andy Carroll out, they're probably not going to sell Chicharito, but there's rumors that they said they're willing to listen to offers, so it'd be good to see him go to LAFC. I mean, Bob Bradley made a cheeky comment about him recently. I don't know if there was ever any interest there, but Besiktas are clearly interested in him as well, seem to be the front runner. A lot of guys have gone to the Turkish Super League and kind of revitalized their career, from Adebayor, Van Persie, Wesley Sneijder. These guys have all done pretty well in that league, as well as, I mean, I'm just blanking on a few other guys now, but they've gone there and done well. It's a tough league, but the big teams are very, very big clubs. Crazy, crazy fan bases. That might be the right thing for him. He's only 29 years old, so he's still in his prime, and he's still got some goal scoring to do. What are your thoughts on Watford sacking Marco Silva? I did some research on him, and apparently he's an incredible manager. Every player that's ever played for him really, really like him. The issue was that he made himself available to Everton when the position became available at Everton. Apparently he was vocal about wanting to take that in the middle of a campaign, and I think that never goes over well. So now 11 games or something with only one win or without a win is going to ruffle some feathers in the ownership group, and they probably felt that it was time for him to go. They felt that it was like he's kind of crossed that line, didn't get the opportunity, and now they have to make a change, which is odd because they're in the top 10 in the Premier League. They have the ability to finish, they have the potential to finish as high as they have in the last, couple decades. But again, he crossed that line. Ownership has to make a decision, and that is what it is. Thoughts on Stoke looking to buy Jack Harrison from NYCFC? I think Pat's doing spin moves here to keep Mike from getting hit. We call these the double black diamond routes, where we just go through some really intense terrain. Oh, there was poop on the ground back there, people walking by. Man, dude, I wouldn't do this with any other crew, man. Thoughts on Jack Harrison? Look, I think Jack Harrison's been great. I think he's an example of a guy that they brought into the league at the right time. He was ready. He's played his games. He's done well. The interest, I think, is great. Whether I think Stoke is a good move for his career, I'm not really sure, but I think he has the attitude and mentality to be successful, whether that's continuing at NYCFC or going beyond somewhere else. So I think it would hurt for NYCFC. We'll go straight. It'll hurt for NYCFC, but ultimately it's his career and he's got to do what's best for him, and obviously he's from there and wants to challenge himself in a number of different ways. So more power to him if he gets that move. Was the Atlanta United Ezequiel Barco announcement during the 2018 MLS Superdraft savage? Disrupted it and made it worth viewing. Will we see more announcement like this in future drafts? Look, the draft is not exciting. It's exciting for the players in the draft because they're getting drafted. But what I mean by that is it's a slow process, right? The clubs are going through things. It's not like this when you're watching it as a viewer, whether on TV or whatever. You're not like on pins and needles unless you have the next pick. So you kind of need to add a little funk to that. And I think this record signing of Barco shows that the league is willing to spend a lot of money. Atlanta is just continuing to show that they're willing to iterate after year one, year two. They're going to spend that money and bring in a player that costs a lot of money to add to their quality on the field, which I think is incredible. But yeah. Oh, another question about the Superdraft. Biggest winner and loser from the MLS Superdraft. I don't think there's any way to really pin that until we've seen those players perform, because it's so hard to know about a lot of these college guys, and I haven't been paying a ton of attention on these college guys. But I think the winners are defenders worldwide, because I think they realize that it's so hard to draft a striker and know he's going to be good. But defenders, you can sort of see, I think scouting a defender is so much easier. And the first 3 picks in the draft were all defenders. And you can see the way that they move, you can see the way they read the game, you can see their touch on the ball, you can see all the things that you could build on, whereas strikers, you just don't know. So I think those 3 picks being defenders, I think that's the big win, and showing the intelligence and savvy of how to use the draft the right way, and how to take advantage of your opportunities in the draft, and not, you kind of hedge your bets on a player that could be a real contributor for your team, instead of drafting a striker and hoping that he turns out to be a superstar. Okay, here. I hear you can play center back since OCSC has your rights and has only 2 center backs in the squad. You showing up to training tomorrow? I think training is today, though. I think that means I'm missing, so maybe I'm missing the first training today. But I was in OCSC Stadium last weekend. I made this super sick reel to kind of pitch myself back to the club, so check this out. Rolling? All right, guys, it's time for my favorite part of the show, to address you haters, and we've got a few this week. Haven't read them yet, but we're gonna get to them right now. First one, JP Carter says, referring to this sign when I did Chucky Lozano. So with Chucky Lozano, I posted a photo getting him like that, said I got to punch him in the arm. This one says, rule infraction not below the waist, which I think I deserve. So I'm just gonna let Pat handle that.
Rule infraction. Please brace yourself.
Okay. Oh, wow. That was light, yeah. Okay, fine, we're even. That was just a waste of my time. If that's all it takes when you have a rule infraction, people will be doing that all the time. Oh, next one, finish right by the trash bag where you belong. This is according to one of our recent videos where I finished a take near a trash bag. You must think I'm trash. That hurts. It's well said. Zarin Jennings says, orange hat GoPro photo. Is that the only, oh, she didn't say that. That's in reference to that. She says, is that the only hat you own? What kind of hat am I wearing today? Does it look orange? Does it look orange? Huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. Here's some Adderall and a teleprompter. Go. Apparently that was according to on our last CPR. I was a little bit amped up. Don't remember that, but try to get amped up for you guys. Be excited, because if I'm not excited, then you're not going to be excited to listen. You look like an angry eagle. That's weird. I've never seen a happy eagle. Do eagles have a different facial expression? Anyways, that's cool. And this is boring without the iPad. Nah, dude, I got this sick thing on my phone. It's tight. I just can hold it. Look, it's cold out here, but like I could just be more comfortable and casual with you guys. The iPad is like carrying a miniature TV around. I just sort of hold it like this and read it to you guys, like blocking my face. Yeah, that was exaggerated, but you guys get what I'm saying. And the final one is apparently on my Danielson photo. Can't tell what to focus on, the legend you're playing against or your legendary Cavs. So this was about a photo of me playing against Danielson, the Danielson, not the Arsenal Danielson, not him. He's not the Danielson. The real Danielson from back in the day. If you guys remember the old airport commercials from Nike that they put out back in the day, that they're doing all like the crazy tricks back in like '98. Yeah, that one. Also, great compliment on my Cavs, so I don't know why that's in the hater section. How can this be in the hater section if you're talking about my Cavs as being legendary? Anyways, guys, that is all we have for the show today, but make sure you get down into the comments and let me know what you think. Do you think that Harry Kane is actually going to make a transfer? Do you think the La Liga issue is going to continue with Real Madrid? Even if they buy him, they're not going to be able to win the title, or will they come back and win the title? Get down in the comments, let me know your thoughts, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.